Hello, this is Brad Wiseman. We're starting a new show, and the show is called Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Agents Tell All. And we have an awesome guest with us here today. Well, let's call her guinea pig. I think we should just call her guinea pig. She's the first guest. Her name is Jordan Kreitz. And I also have a wonderful co-host with me today, Susan McFadden.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it. Let's talk to Jordan. Find out about your business, or find out how did you get here? Now, don't say your mom and dad.
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
So I got here via insurance and a few other things in life. But about 3 years ago, I decided it was time to make a career change. And I thought that real estate seemed like a good idea. I had previously done sales. And I thought if you can sell insurance, you can probably sell just about anything.
Right.
And so here we are.
Amazing. So you did sell insurance.
I did.
And then you came into this business. Now, when you came into this business, did you think, I always want to ask this question, did you think it was going to be driving around in a fancy car and showing homes?
I mean, isn't that what it is? I'm just kidding.
Right.
That's what Susan does.
Yeah, right.
Right? You do that all the time.
No, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I thought. Oh, let's just go see some houses, and the money just kind of falls off of a tree, and life is going to be great.
Did you remember what your financial goal was? Did you think like, oh, I'll make the same my first year that I did in insurance?
No, this is going to be very uneducated of me, but I had no idea, like what to expect whatsoever.
Wow.
So
you just jumped in.
I mean, yeah.
And you came to Keller Williams first.
I did.
Didn't go anywhere else.
Nope, I came to Keller Williams via Brad.
Oh, that's always so nice to hear.
I knew Brad before, and when I decided this was an adventure I thought I wanted to take, I gave him a call and said, I don't know who else to talk to about this. So we chatted, and it seemed like Keller Williams was going to be a great fit. And then I got to meet you, Susan, and John Gerhardt, and I decided this was the spot for me.
And we knew you were special from the very beginning. We
Absolutely.
Really
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I knew she could do it. You know, I had met her because she had a business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she had a business before. She was an entrepreneur. I mean, and in this business, that's really what we are, is we're entrepreneurs. I mean,
and it's relationships, and she's really good with the relationships too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, she had a business called Steer Clear with some other partners, and when I met her, it was at the Railroad House one night, and that sounded weird, right? But no, I was singing there. I was singing at the Railroad House, and I saw this person sitting out on the deck doing this Steer Clear thing, and I thought, that takes a lot of passion and a lot of work in believing in what you're doing to do that, what you guys were doing at that point.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So.
It sure did. It was definitely a lot of work. It geared me up very well
for this business.
The real estate game.
And real estate is definitely a roller coaster.
And we should all steer clear of it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's totally perfect.
So your first year, how many sales did you have?
So in my first
volume,
year,
whatever you want
I was still working in insurance.
Okay.
So I got my license in September. I did not do a single transaction until the end of March because I was still working in insurance. I did my first transaction with Brad. He really just let me help him. That was the first one I did. So in 2019, I closed 6 units for about $710,000.
Wow.
In
Which
sales
710
volume.
is not her commission. It's
That's the
sales volume.
production. Yeah.
I wish it was.
I love when people think the $1 Million Club means we're all making $1 million. Yes, I know.
I wish.
That would be nice.
So that was 2019. So I came full-time to real estate in April of 2019.
Okay.
So it's been 2018 into 2019.
Okay.
Came to real estate full-time. In 2019 was when I sold my first home. And then that year I did 6 transactions for $710,000-ish total in volume. And then in 2020, the beginning of 2020 is when Susan asked me if I would be interested in joining her team. And last year I doubled my business. So I sold 13 homes and did about $2.7 million. And now this year, as of right now, I'm at about 21 units either sold or pending.
Incredible.
And at $4.5 million.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
I didn't realize you were doing that kind of business.
She's
Don't
amazing.
you wish I was on your team?
Yeah. If I had a team, yes.
She's amazing. She's really good.
Yeah,
and she
that's
sets goals.
incredible.
I mean, one of the things we have here is an awards trip, and that was important for you to hit that.
Yeah, so
you're in.
no.
Just
No, not
about.
yet.
I need
Almost.
3 more.
I
the end of-
think you'll be okay.
We'll
By the
see.
end of
Could be
December.
okay.
So I mean, you're very goal oriented, and we have goal sheets on our team each month and track where we are. And
Differences between being an independent agent and being on a team.
I think it's hard to say. There's a lot of differences, obviously, but in some ways it's still very similar, right? When you're an independent agent, you are running your own business. You have the support of the office and the trainings that are provided here, and all of those things, which are fantastic. Being on a team, you still have access to all of the office trainings and the office support and all of that. But what's different is you have the access to a Susan. So I think for me, what has kind of made my business catapult over the last year and a half is really the opportunity that I have to sit in a room with Susan day in and day out and listen to the phone calls. And when you have the questions, you ask them, and she always has an answer. And if she doesn't know the answer, we can
Call Brad
or sadly Mark, and he hates that.
Poor
love
Mark.
you, Mark.
Yeah, or Kate, right?
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Kate's great.
Brandy was in with her today. Yeah.
Yeah, and like other agents in the office. I mean, I just learned from Michelle McCartney the other couple weeks ago when I was having a situation. But I think the big difference between the team atmosphere and the individual agent atmosphere is the support, right? Whether it's marketing, the goal setting, the admin side of it, leads and all of those things come. But for me, what's been more important is the back end support that I receive from Susan and from the rest of our team.
Well, I think it's pre-made systems too. Like your systems were in place.
You have a
And,
binder.
when you're coming into this as an independent agent, you're coming right into the business. You don't have systems for yourself. You don't have disciplines. You don't have systems. You don't have things
You're
that you want to
literally
do.
recreating the wheel.
Absolutely.
All the
So
time.
when you're coming with a team like you do with Susan, she has the system running. It's a matter of you jumping into that system and really catapulting, the word that you use, catapulting your business to another level within the team.
And I think what's important to note is like when you were saying when you come into the business, you don't even know what systems you need to have.
Yeah.
So like
So
recreating
true.
the
No
wheel's
idea.
great,
Yeah.
but like
So
I had no idea what was happening
Oh.
or what I should be doing or shouldn't be doing. So it's like, okay, Susan's been doing this for a long time. She knows what we should or shouldn't be doing. Well, why not just plug into that and be a part of a machine that already works?
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is she came in and plugged in. Like a lot of people, a new agent can come in and be successful or they cannot be successful. And really it's on them.
Yeah,
We have
absolutely.
all the systems and you came in and were there and just plugged in and went along. Yesterday she went along to an appointment to help me and she'll go anytime, which that's the big difference is you put that time in and
Well, and I think if you want to be successful in this business, you have to, because if you don't plug in and if you don't do what you need to do, you can do 6 transactions a year for a sales volume of $710,000 and not be able to support your family. I mean, I'm a single
doesn't
mom.
work. Yeah.
Right. I'm a single mom with a 4.5-year-old son. I need to provide a life for both of us.
Yeah.
And I think without being engaged, you aren't able to do that in this business.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, as I think the misconception or what people think coming from the outside in. And one of the questions that I had put on these bullet points was, you saw the business from the outside in. Now that you're in looking out, what can you tell somebody that's thinking about doing this?
Buckle up, get ready. No, it's a lot of fun. I love this business. I think to be in this business and stay in it and do it full time, you have to love it.
Yes, that's true.
Be engaged in it and, be prepared for it to be a different day every day. It certainly is not driving around in a nice car and showing houses. I mean, I live in my car. There's signs in my car. I have like a sledgehammer in the back, which I never thought I would have.
Yeah.
Is that for protection?
Both signs, protection,
Okay,
whatever.
just wondering. So, and if anybody's thinking about it, don't go after her. She's got a sledgehammer in the car.
Yeah, we have,
My goodness.
I've got lock boxes everywhere.
Oh yeah. My car's not a mess because of my kids. It's
It's all of us.
realistic.
Yeah, I blame it on the kids though.
I think any
always.
really good salesperson though
Yeah.
has a messy car.
If you don't have a McDonald's French fry under your seat, something's wrong.
Right.
I mean, that's just
Chick-fil-A
me.
this week.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. That's right. Chick-fil-A, a waffle fry wedged under the seat, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
You're not doing it right.
That's right. You're not
And I
in the
think-
business.
I think what Jordan's saying before too, like I have made a ton of mistakes in business, and you have probably made.
Tons.
And so we've learned.
Why did you look at me like that?
Well,
when
I
you said,
know.
and we know you made a lot of mistakes.
A lot.
No, you're right.
But the thing is like Jordan won't make most of the mistakes that I ever made because while she's doing it, it's like, oh, wait, make sure this doesn't happen because I screwed this up. And I ended up buying the refrigerator for the client because that happened or, whatever it is.
Yep.
And so part of that helps too, I think. It just makes you be able to run faster when you're on a team.
Yeah, buying a refrigerator when it's not yours is not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool at all. And I've done those things too.
That happens
Absolutely,
like
I've
once
done
and
those.
then you learn. So every system is because of something you learned from. Yeah.
So what's your secret to getting where you are? Like, what do you think makes people attract to you to work with?
I mean,
well, yeah. Besides that,
the moneymaker.
Besides
gorgeous.
the stunning looks, what else is it?
No, I mean, so I think it's a couple things, right? I'm generally pretty outgoing and friendly and very open. I think a lot of people feel like they can talk to me, and I think that's super helpful because this is all about building relationships. So, most of my business this year has actually come from referrals from either past clients, friends, or family. I have one family that I got to know them, kind of randomly. And as of last month, just in this year, we've done 6 transactions for their extended family.
That's awesome.
So they loved you. Obviously, you did a great job for them.
I hadn't even sold a house for the guy that referred me initially. His was the last property I sold. So he was referring me out before I did a transaction for him because
you took care of his people.
Exactly.
And so he kept,
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
that's a great story.
I think that, taking care of people is what can get you far in this business. I think it's important to be honest and upfront and open with your clients. I keep a very open dialogue. And being accessible,
I think you're so accessible and you always get back to people. And if you don't know the answer, you'll call whoever it is and find out the answer. If they have a question about a specific house, like you get it done right away. Where some people like, oh, I'm in the middle of something, I'll get back to it tomorrow. You always get things done right away, which I think is part of your success.
Yeah, I try really hard not to let things linger because people feel then like you're disconnected from them. And, well, what is she doing that she's not taking care of me? So there's a benefit or a pro and a con to it, right? People think that they're your only client, but also people think that you're their only, or that they're your only client.
You want to make them feel that way,
right?
Yeah, yeah. But sometimes you do need to sleep, and they don't. Yeah,
very rarely.
It doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, why would it? So, what do you think is the most challenging part of being a realtor?
Gosh. I think the consistency for me is the most challenging part. And I've talked to both of you about this plenty, right?
You mean this?
Yeah, until our ears
it's an
bleed,
actual
right?
roller coaster.
The roller coaster.
And that's the probably the most common thing I think as realtors that we are guilty of, because you get busy and then you're not doing the things it took to get you busy. So then you go down, and now all of a sudden you get busy trying to get busy, and then you go back up. So it's that roller coaster. And
there's that piece of it, but then there's also like the day-to-day emotional roller coaster of like being involved in a real estate transaction where like in 1 minute you're not getting a deal, an hour later something happens and you are getting a deal, and 4 days later something else happens and a different deal fell apart. I mean, there's a lot of emotion, I would say, involved in all of it, like mental
it's the
space.
biggest purchase of someone's life. I've had surgeons say to me, I have no idea. Your job is so scary and so stressful. And I'm like, you save people lives.
You operate
you're
on
like
people.
Right. Like
that would scare me if he was my surgeon.
You're not operating on my brain.
Surgeon, actually. Top surgeon.
Wow.
In the country.
Is he the one that did your foot or no?
No, it's different. It was a woman,
checking.
and she's amazing. Yeah.
So you know what? One of the things I thought about when you were talking about that is that, and we have to. It's almost like it's like a parent. We have to always look strong and be strong during times of major stress and major things going down. Like when something's happening, we can't be freaking out like they are. We have to stay like, okay, let's figure this out,
cool.
And that takes a lot on us. I mean, that must be something you're talking about.
There's like the outward calm that you present to your clients when things are happening, right? And then the internal freak out that's occurring, or the call to Susan late at night crying like, this is what just happened today. Can you even believe it? I think, but the most important thing is that when you're in the moment and you're dealing with your clients, you are outwardly guiding them and making sure that they understand, even if you are freaking out or upset or any of those things, you still are working in their best interest and doing the best you can, to make things go well for them.
And you have to remember, I just had a house that was supposed to settle, and the night before I texted you.
Oh, yeah.
I was helping the buyer and the seller, and the night before at 6:00, the lender texted me and said, we have a problem, a major problem.
Yeah, that was a problem.
I couldn't breathe, and I was like, I can't put this off, because what most newer agents do is put the inevitable off and not make the call because it's not going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But I did it. I was actually at a volleyball game. I stepped outside, made the call, was explaining to the seller exactly what I was going to do, how they were going to be protected, what our game plan was. They were wonderful, and we were able to close the next week, so we closed. So I think it's that, like,
that's awesome.
You just have to keep your cool and pull yourself together. And the thing that the outside world doesn't understand, if you're an accountant or a marketing major and you have a rough week, you're still getting your paycheck in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. This business, you have a rough week, you might not be able to pay your mortgage in 2 weeks. That's part of the roller coaster too. Mm-hmm. And you're never thinking about the bottom line, because if you think about the numbers with people, you think about taking care of the people, and then the money comes. But it's a roller coaster. There's a lot of risks,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, we take our work home with us, and mentally and physically we take it home with us too. Sometimes paperwork, whatever it is, laptops are with us all the time.
Dinner with your wife, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of part of the way it is. And I'm sure I don't know if you ever saw that coming. I mean, that part of it.
No. So, I mean, I think I assumed that there would be some, nights and weekends for showing and all those things. Right. But I certainly didn't anticipate, 11:30 p.m. text followed by 5 a.m. text the next morning. From the same client asking you the question because you fell asleep that night. You know what I mean? It's certain that part of it is certainly not what I expected.
Yeah. And the percentage that you're actually showing homes, like, people think our job is showing homes.
Yeah.
And the percentage out of your week that you're actually showing homes is
nothing. Yeah.
The smallest thing you do. I mean, it's like contracts and marketing. I mean, marketing is a ton of it.
Keeping deals together. That's the thing. I think that one of the misconceptions of our business is that, they sign the agreement, they go to settlement, and that's it. Well, there's so much in between that they don't even know about, which is good. That's our job. It keeps the stress. We should be the ones taking that on, not them. That's why they hire us to do this.
They should never get to it, right? The stress. Yeah.
So you're doing an amazing job. I have two other questions real quick, and then whatever you have there, Susan. One is, what's your most memorable moment so far?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I think one of the better, I've had two good ones pretty recently. One of the really good ones was the folks that I was telling you that he had referred me to a bunch of people. When we finally, he agreed on their house, and then he agreed on the house they were buying. Then we finally got their house closed, and he was like, I never thought you were actually going to do it. Because he's like very intense, an intense negotiator. And he's like, I didn't think that you were actually going to make this happen. And we did it.
Good. That's great.
Awesome.
Another one was also just recently. The first deal that I ever did by myself was actually for my cousin. And then they just wanted to sell again this summer.
That was the first deal we had together.
Yeah, so the first deal I ever did by myself, I did it with Susan.
Right. She wasn't on my team. I was on a cruise.
It was a challenge.
Way to go.
Yeah.
But anyway,
part of realtor school, you need a lot of vacations.
It's so true.
It's actually true.
So true.
Yeah. So then they wanted to buy again, and husband and wife, the husband was not super sold on it. And then the day of settlement, I saw him at their new home, and he's like, this is totally the right move for us. This is where we belong. Like, I'm so glad that we did this.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's
That's a good feeling, right?
It's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. Yeah, it is a good
when
feeling.
You're helping people, that's what it's all about. It really is.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask?
I just wanted to mention, too, Jordan started doing so well, and we had a lot of conversations about how well she was doing. She started taking over some director of operations things for the team because she was doing such a good job with that. So that's been a huge help in helping our team grow.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say or add?
No, I mean, well, maybe. I think something that's important to note, though, too, is I think a lot of my success has been here at KW and the trainings and coming here, and, people call you all the time and say, like, oh, come here. You don't have to pay anything, or you don't have to do this or
that's
that.
That's what the sledgehammer's for.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
they
put
stop
it in her
calling
car.
me. Take them out at the knees.
That's right. That's right.
But I just think it's important to know that I love it here, and
Yeah.
I don't see any reason that I would ever want to leave, because this is a family, and the things that the people at KW do for each other and for the community are unlike any place that I've ever experienced before in my life.
That's awesome.
That is
That's
so
great.
nice.
That's great to hear. And we did not pay
That's what
her
it's
to
all
say
about,
that.
no.
We didn't even say, hey,
Probably
50
should.
bucks.
I'll
or-
buy you lunch if you want. That was
yeah.
really nice.
I'm sure Mark will buy you lunch.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. We had a good time, right?
Super
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for
Good
coming
job,
in, Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, thank you for
And
coming
any other
in.
agents that want to
We're going to get some other agents on here from Keller Williams here and do some of the agents tell all. We'll get into some dirt.
Ooh, I like
get
it.
real dirt. What do you think of that?
We should.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.